Listen, if I've told you once, I've told you a million times. All throughout the offseason, I was saying it loud and clear, and I got a lot of pushback in this regard. But Shedeur Sanders. Yes, we do have to talk about Shedeur Sanders today because it relates to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is a minority owner, and there is a blockbuster report that just came out. We're going to get into it. But Shedeur Sanders was not and is not a first-round quarterback. I don't care what his numbers were in Colorado. If you go and look at his game tape, he has a lot of very big flaws in his game. And yes, he has a high floor, low ceiling. And that basically means what you get in college is what you're going to get in the NFL. And I don't think it's going to translate well. He could be a good career backup quarterback, but you do not spend a first-round draft pick with him. And according to The Athletic and Pro Football Talk, both of them are saying the same exact thing in regards to Tom Brady. So how does all of this relate back to Tom Brady? We're going to get into that and more on today's episode of the Raider D Podcast. Guys, welcome on back. I am Mike Dean, host of the Raider D Podcast, aka the Raider D. If you're brand new to the channel, do me a huge favor and consider subscribing if you get any value out of this video whatsoever. We are well on our way to 12,000 subscribers. We only need 80 more subscribers, guys, and we're going to hit that 12,000 mark. So help us get there. Hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, and do me one more favor and check in down below in the comments and let me know, are you happy the Raiders did not get Shedeur Sanders, or were you on the Sanders train? And before we get into anything further, I do just want to say thank you to my guy, Kevin Ross over at Box House, for being a big supporter of the channel. Guys, if you need an ADU or you need a tiny home delivered straight to your house, Box House has got your back. They got a whole bunch of different models over there. They got options, and they can work with you in any kind of way to make sure that your dream project absolutely comes true. They have amazing products. Call my boy Kevin Ross over at Box House today. His phone number is on the screen, as well as a link to their website is in the description. You got to go and check him out. Do not go anywhere else before you give Kevin a call. He will take good care of you. He is a quality guy. I can personally guarantee that. He has just been amazing to work with. I also want to send a big shout out to Vasari Plaster. These guys hooked us up with some Venetian plaster. I went with the Marmarino, and our bathroom looks like a 5-star hotel, even though it is a tiny bathroom in our tiny cabin that we are building out right now. So check these pics out, man. This stuff is so easy. It's DIY friendly. I'm going to drop a link to Vasari down in the description. You're going to want to check it out, because if you want to make your wife's dream bathroom, Venetian plaster is absolutely the way to go. Go and check it out. They got plenty of instructional videos and great pricing, and the product is perfecto. Now listen, I want to talk about Tom Brady today and the minority owner and how all of this thing played out with the draft with John Spytek. We knew that Mark Davis from months ago was infatuated with Shedeur Sanders, and we thought that that was coming from Tom Brady. And maybe Tom Brady had put the bug in his ear, and that's why Mark Davis was so wanting to have Shedeur on the team. However, the second that John Spytek got here, the second that Pete Carroll got here, and the second that they went and made a trade for Geno Smith, speculation started to come out that maybe this is not as sold with Tom Brady as everybody was led to believe, because we know that Shedeur Sanders had worked out with Tom Brady in the off seasons. He has a very personal connection with Deion Sanders as well. So he knows the whole family. They're all friends. He stayed away from the draft. He had nothing to do with the draft. He stayed away from it completely. We know that this is not true. And why do we know that this is not true? Because John Spytek has come out and said that basically he was in contact with them throughout the entire draft. He wasn't in the draft room, but they were in contact, having phone calls and whatnot in conversations. And so why is Tom Brady coming out and saying this now? Well, it's pretty obvious. The reason why he's coming out and saying this is, simply put, he's got to protect his relationship with his friends. Deion Sanders, Shedeur, Shiloh, the whole Sanders family. They are all close personal friends of Tom Brady. And so that's going to strain your relationship. Deion's got to be looking at Tom and being like, Tom, why didn't you draft my son? Man, I thought, like, you helped coach him up. You helped teach him how to be a great quarterback. Why didn't you put your foot down and make sure that he came to the Las Vegas Raiders? I thought we were seeing eye to eye on this.
Now I just need you to do one thing. I need you to draft those Sanders boys next year.
And Tom, he's got to be able to protect that relationship. Like, look, Dion, man, I love your son. I love Shedeur. I would have loved to have him with the Raiders, but I'm not the GM and I didn't want to overstep my role, so I had nothing to do with the draft. But in fact, we know that he did have a lot to do with the draft because he had a big say in the Raiders drafting Cam Miller in the sixth round. And so why would you want Cam Miller? Why would you go out and support John Spytek drafting Cam Miller out of North Dakota State, a guy that none of us had been following, a guy that none of us had been checking on, none of us had even looked at his highlights? Why is Tom Brady standing up for a guy out of North Dakota State and not for Shedeur Sanders? Well, read between the lines, people. It's pretty simple. Tom Brady worked out with this kid. Tom Brady knows his character. Tom Brady knows the situation with our current coach, Pete Carroll, being a first-year head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, and we already went and had a trade for Geno Smith. So if you bring in Shedeur Sanders and pick, or round number 4 or round number 5, what you're going to end up with is a big fiasco because everybody's going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders, and the very second that Geno Smith even throws an interception, you're going to have calls for Shedeur Sanders to be put in there. You're going to have the media all over you that you need to have Shedeur Sanders in there. And I honestly think that Tom Brady just doesn't believe that Shedeur Sanders is that next level guy. Shedeur Sanders is a good backup quarterback. I think that's all he's ever going to be. He might develop into a game manager because he's an accurate guy. He does read defenses pretty well, but he's average every single where else. Now, if you disagree with me, drop a comment down below and let me know why. But if you agree, also drop a comment and let me know why. But I think that this is very telling that a guy at the caliber of Tom Brady who has a very close personal connection and has helped to train Shedeur Sanders, did not push for Shedeur Sanders to become a Las Vegas Raider and instead pushed for a guy out of North Dakota State in Cam Miller. So what does he believe and what does he see in Cam Miller that he doesn't see in a guy like Shedeur Sanders? Well, one, Cam Miller is a 2-time FCS champion, and Tom Brady likes winners. This dude, Cam Miller, all he has ever done is win, win, win. The second thing, he is a very athletic guy. He is leaps and bounds above Shedeur Sanders when it comes to athleticism. And the other thing that was noted from Tom Brady in the athletic is that Cam Miller, he loves the way that he throws the ball from the ground up. His technique, his arm, everything is basically perfect when it comes to being a quarterback. And this is why we drafted Cam Miller in the 6th round, just like Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. And so could this be a succession quarterback? Could Cam Miller actually be the guy that Tom Brady and the Raiders are looking at to be the successor to Geno Smith right now?